You can start.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Please do.
Welcome,
Please
everyone, ladies and gentlemen, for today's webinar on yoga practices for the welfare of ASD children, featuring Dr. Omkar, my most revered yoga guru, a down-to-earth person, a distinguished person in the realm of yoga and aerospace engineering. Well, before we start the webinar, let us see a short audio visual. Bindu, would you like to play the visual?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mr. Omkar is coming out with a series called Stretching for the Core Muscles. Mr. Omkar is a very fine yoga teacher and has worked with many sportsmen over the years. He's personally worked with me for many years now, and his stretchings have benefited me. I think it benefited the whole Indian team. I think it will be very beneficial for all of them.
Whenever we've been in Bangalore, Dr. Omkar has really helped us, especially for me because I'm little stiff and he's the one who's kept my body very supple. And I'd like to thank him on behalf of Indian cricket team because he's really helped and worked very hard on us.
This yoga concentrates mostly on the core stability and core muscles of the body, which is house body. These exercises sure will greatly benefit not just sports persons, but everybody in all walks of life. I wish Dr. Omkar the very best, and I'm sure the CD-ROM beneficial to everyone. I'm really happy to know that Omkar sir is coming out with a CD showing all the stretching exercises. He's been since last 7 years, and all the stretching exercises which he has taught me has really helped me to become more flexible. I'm sure that if you watch and do all the exercises in the CD, it will be really helpful to you in making your body more healthy and your lives more healthy.
ओमकार जी एक सीडी निकाल रहे हैं जिसमें योगा के सारी एक्सरसाइज हैं और मैं जो कि लास्ट 6 महीने से बैक प्रॉब्लम से गुजर रहा था, तो जब मैंने योगा स्टार्ट किया तो मुझे काफी रिलीफ मिला इनके जो योगा पोस्चर से। तो मैं चाहूंगा कि जब मुझे रिलीफ मिल सकता है तो अगर आप इस सीडी को यूज करेंगे और देखें उसमें जो भी पोस्चर प्रॉपर करेंगे तो शायद आने वाले टाइम में आप भी वही तरह फ्लेक्सिबल और बैक पेन।
We, the Indian cricket team, have been benefited quite a lot by yoga through Mr. Omkar. He has come out with the CD. The CD also depicts strengthening the core muscles. It is imperative to stay fit and to live long with the right postures and right positions. This CD can take you anywhere. The CD targets the core muscle groups, being transversus, multifidus, and the muscles around the trunk, which are going to help not just the sports person, but also the average person in the street. From a postural point of view, lead to an holistic. The exercise is structured right. They're progressive and not too complicated. If you follow the course and the like, you'll benefit from this program. The Indian cricket team has been using the yoga stretches, and we found it's been really beneficial to us. The main thing is that it's good way to start the day. A little bit nice, flexible, and it actually helps us improve the specific muscles that we use throughout the day and in all the activities. So from that point of view, it's really been a worthwhile experience for us. It's something I'd like to see us continue doing, and something that I think has been really, really good.
Now, having seen the audio visual, now we know the strength of Dr. Omkar, what he can contribute And to the yogic fraternity, especially, Dr. Omkar does not need any introduction. Dr. Omkar is a direct disciple of the esteemed Padma Bhushan, Dr. B.K.S. Iyengar. He brings a unique blend of expertise to our discussion today. Bindu, would you like to others to mute the audio and pin Dr. She cannot pin. Ask me to give, you give me a host for some time. Omkar has a PhD doctorate in aerospace engineering from the prestigious Science, Bangalore, and he is research scientist in the Department of Aerospace Engineering at the same institution. Additionally, his contributions extended to the realm of yoga education, where he holds the position of honorary professor at the Vedic Wellness University and serves as a consultant at the Sri Shankara Cancer Foundation. Dr. Omkar is the prestigious awardee of Satish Dhawan Lifetime Award for contribution to the field of image processing and the Grand Challenge Award from the Karnataka Biotechnology and Information Technology Services. Dr. Omkar's influence is beyond academia, as evidenced by his intensive involvement in yoga camps and workshops. Notably, he has conducted camps for the esteemed cricket group, the blind cricket team, the Ranjit cricket team, and many other cricket teams at national levels. The Surya program, student upliftment and rejuvenation through yoga. Surya program for school students. Principles and practice of Surya Namaskar. This program has distributed more than 250,000 booklets on sun salutation on Karnataka and in neighboring states in Kannada, Hindi, Telugu, Braille scriptures. And this program is a gigantic effort. Apart from his authoring a lot of yoga textbooks, his interviews in TV channel, to my knowledge, have gone over 5,000 episodes, which are a visual treat and an ocean of knowledge. The newspapers and magazines and articles published by him in many leading newspapers, both in Kannada and English, include the series on health in leading magazine Taranga, Yoga Made Easy, articles in the Week magazine since 2007. He continues to pioneer in the field of yoga and offers spiritual discourses on the last Sundays of every month, even today. The techniques to control the mind, and conducts healing therapy and fitness yoga classes at the Yoga Mandira with his busy schedules. To my knowledge, Yoga Mandira has benefited tens and thousands of people, both online and offline. His dedication to promoting holistic wellness extends globally with engagements in countries like Canada, USA, Japan, and Singapore. We are highly privileged to have Dr. Omkar share his insights with us today. He brings us a unique blend in his interaction today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Omkar as he enriches our understanding of the profound instruction of yoga and its holistic approach to the differently abled ASD community, of which we are all a part of. Thank you all.
Thank you, Usha ma'am, for the introduction.
Over to you, Dr. Omkar.
Yeah, please take it over, sir.
ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿಗಳಾದ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Namaste. Well, we all know that this autism spectrum disorder, or ASD as is popularly referred to, is something that is rather a concern, especially these days, maybe due to better diagnostics, and a lot of people are working to make this condition improves from various perspectives. The actual cause, yes, nobody knows. It is supposed to be more genetic, but how it really is, what the cause for the increasing numbers is really a big question. A lot of research is going on. But nonetheless, a lot of intervention in terms of the complementary systems, apart from medications also, are in vogue today. And yoga is one such big intervention which should really be of great help. I started working with some of these kind of kids long back, maybe about 22 years back. There is one school, JSS school, but there is a special school for these kind of kids. So there I used to teach them some yoga practices. And I also happened to, at that time, was doing some series of yoga classes on Udaya TV. At that time, I did several episodes on these special kids. I don't know whether it is still available on some website. I'm not sure, but it should be somewhere there. I could not locate. I thought I will just show you that. So that was our interest. We did a lot of work on that. A lot of postures, how they can be helped, especially using some of the props, as it is very unique to the BK's Iyengar school, how to use some of the props and ensure that these kids maintain their postures properly. And I am sure these kind of postures will also have a feedback mechanism which would also help them to resolve at least to some part. We don't claim that we're going to cure everything. That is not the claim at all. I don't think anybody can dare do that, but still, how to make them reasonably independent. That was the main objective. And well, now also my interest is still there. Now we have been working on the artificial intelligence, image processing, etc. Recently, with the help of one of my student, Mr. Dhruv, I did develop some small protocol which might help the autistic kids in training their motor skills, etc. I will also share with you what we had done, but we could not take it further because number one, we need more support both in terms of the institutes which can implement this, and also, yes, some other, because all these things are not funded because of the kind of interest I have with these kind of kids. I've been doing this. So let's hope with the grace of my Guru and God, we'll be able to do this. So before I take on anything else, I would like to share my, I have a small presentation. I'll just share with you. Yes, I think I'm not able to share. I request the host to give me permission to share.
Sir, you can share it now. I have made you the co-host, so please try now.
Yeah. Share the screen. Yes. So, yeah. Is it visible?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay. So this is something we are doing. Okay. Don't worry about this. Of course, this we started doing with for the purpose of yoga and some sort of physiotherapy. We are pursuing that, but then we also have some expertise in handling large language models. There also we wanted to do something on speech therapy. We did not complete that, but we have the interest. So can we have some sort of AI assistant for autism care? That was our main thing. So I'll show you some things. Of course, this was the aim. Reduce burden on occupational therapists because, as you know, there is shortage of occupational therapists. Please mute your system, sir. Yeah. Because sometimes the therapists will have to have repetitive tasks and exercises. Some of them can be automated, and even people at home can administer some of these exercises. Then a lot of another analytics can be done, you see, to recognize in future. We have not done that, but it is very easy to recognize the movement patterns and develop specific therapeutical protocols in the time to come. Then you can have increased engagement because it's a interactive and some sort of a gamification can be introduced. Then you will get a real-time feedback because through AI systems you can monitor their motor skills, etc. Then it is remote access. And this can be accessed remotely, for example, even in places, because autism is not just a urban phenomena, as we all understand. Even some of the kids in rural areas where some of these kind of special schools or therapists are inaccessible, there also we can do. So this is something I want to take it forward, but I'm really looking for a better support system to make it happen. So then this is very interesting, large language models and computer vision in speech therapy. We did some small work in this We did demonstrate it to, I think, some schools in Bangalore. So I'll show you a couple of applications. So this is one application, you see now. This is all just by looking at the computer screen. One can do, you have to track that square. That's the thing. So a lot of scoring, etc. can be done. This can be seen as a cookie cutter or a cake cutter. We can create appropriate graphics for kids to get engaged. That's at a later stage, but this is just a demo. Then this is something called like the snake game, where you have to just see those dots you have to connect. See the dots appear randomly and you got to connect. How well you connect, what are the, how many movements you make to connect, what is your response time, etc. can be noted, measured, and it's all to improve the motor skills. Then gross motor skills, that what you saw was fine motor skills. So gross things, we can introduce some yoga movements with gamification, as you can see here.
Bend to your left,
It will say bend to your left.
right arm up.
Then it will instruct whether the arm positioning is good or not. That you can do. Then this is another interesting things where you see the ball moves and you have to just touch the ball. There it is. Then here, then there. So this is all done on a computer screen, or you can put it on a TV screen, make kids play around that, and that can improve their moments to a good extent. And this is something like mimicking the steering wheel. The steering wheel will come, then you can just rotate. Of course, these are all some samples, so many such things can be developed based on that. Anyway, this can also be some sort of action game we can create for them. We have now improvised on this. So now this will mimic. Okay. So we can include several things in this. Well, these are all the possibilities. So I will stop sharing this screen. So these are the kind of work that are possible with AI and computer vision, where our interest is still there. We are looking for good support system. But in all these things, one thing is that the parental involvement is something amazing. I know parents have or the guardians have a very, very great role to play in this whole ASD kind of phenomena. And well, people, I know I have some parents, I know a lot of parents who have this kind of kids, all of them have actually taken this in the right spirit, and it has helped them personally, that I would say it would bolster their perspective to life. And well, it has, although yes, autism is a problem, I think as a whole, I've seen some great better outlook in their family system. So this is one positive side that I have personally witnessed. So even the guardians or parents, they should get involved in the practices of yoga, which will definitely help the kids to show better improvement. So I think Usha was saying that there are some questions. So I will, with this introduction, I will just look forward to your questions to the best possible, to the best of my ability. I would love to answer, and then we can follow the discussions and try to see how all of us can make a better society where these kids are helped to become better.
Thank you, Dr. Omkar. I have the questions with me. I will share the screen and I will read out the questions and maybe you can answer them one by one.
Yeah.
Are you able to see my screen, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the first question is, my 8-year-old has motor planning difficulties. He finds it difficult to hop, skip, balance on a skateboard. How can yoga help him with body flexibility?
Yeah, very much, because generally, of course, I also have now one kid coming. Generally, yeah, the uh, way we teach them has to be rather playful, because you cannot expect them to catch our words uh, mm, quickly and respond quickly. So we should have some patience and we should make it playful. Some of the jumping, etc. So what we generally do is we put a small either a foam brick or a blanket, and we ask them to jump back and forth. And generally it is good if the parents also or whomsoever, they love to do with someone else also. It's not just we force them to do, but we do along with them. So such some simple hop, skip, etc. can be taught. And then at a later level, balancing on a skateboard. For this balancing, there are some postures in yoga. For example, Vrikshasana, Virabhadrasana, 3, etc. Without caring too much for the alignments as we do in regular classes, we can just focus on just the balanceability of these people, and it is possible. I think it's more to do with, we should find out appropriate movements which will improve these kind of functional movements.
Thank you, sir. So there is another question. Can breathing exercises help my 6-year-old with blowing, sipping, swallowing, chewing better?
Well, I would say more than breathing exercise, because 6-year-old, they cannot generally say, okay, some breathing exercises. First of all, to impress upon these breathing techniques, not only for autistic kids, I would say 6 years is too small for any even normal kid to practice any breathing exercise. But what you can try is like simply opening mouth. For example, pronouncing the 3 letters. That would really exercise very well. What are the 3 letters? You know it. Akara. Just say ah. Then the mouth has to be opened. Then the same thing, slightly elongated. Ooh. Then mouth. So some of these things, in essence, it is chanting of Om all put together. That also can be tried.
Your video has stopped, sir. Someone is asking you to turn it on. We can't see they're saying.
Oh, I just.
No, I can read out the questions. Maybe we can see you. I can just read out the questions from
Okay.
my document.
So one is that U then Om. For this also they have to do it rather, it's not that you ask them to sit straight and they will simply obey you. One should have patience and try it as often as possible. And well, that's what I would say right now for 6-year-olds, more on some of these basic sounds, because this avu ma is the one that really puts all the major, parts of our vocabulary.
Sure, sir. You said about this one, right? Focus. So there is also a question about attention and focus. Does practicing yogasana requires a lot of attention and focus? My child barely sits in one place for 5 seconds. He jumps all over the place. So how can we start with yoga for him?
That's why I've been saying that don't expect not only autistic, even see for small kids, even normal kids, the way we teach is totally different. It has to be more dynamic, and in between as introduce certain things where they have to look at a particular object or a thing. So it has to be a combination. So make things, somebody says not audible, but I think it must be a local problem. Satyanarayana, I think it's audible to all of you.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, so
audible.
our
Audible.
whole approach has to be, slightly different in making it more playful. If you make it playful, that should be good, because their movement may not be that precise. They have difficulties in all that. So all that you have to observe. And each kid is again here different. That's why it is called spectrum. You see, so you cannot even generalize, but you have to go case by case basis and then suitably adopt. It's not that as we regularly imagine in yoga that you simply ask them to sit and for whatever duration, then the moment you say stand, they will stand to whatever duration. Simply that won't work. You should make it more dynamic, and using some of the props, I would say, makes it some interesting to them, like some small chairs, etc. So you have to make it somewhat, you must gamify with, whatever you have. Even yogic postures have to be gamified. So there should be some sort of such dynamism introduced into all these things. So this also, what I have found is, in fact, you will be surprised. I have done about 30 episodes of yoga for these kids. I was myself surprised after I started teaching to them. I learned a lot. Whether they learned or not is different. Interacting with them makes us more creative, makes us more involved. In fact, you become a better yogi by getting involved with them. But nonetheless, to answer you, yes, there are challenges, but it is possible to suitably adopt and teach them, and that will definitely help them.
Sir, if we are to find these, search for these videos, are they available on your YouTube channel or anywhere else? These 30 videos that you mentioned?
I'll just check.
Okay.
I had done, in fact, It was actually telecast twice or thrice on public request.
Another question is on fine motor skills.
Yeah.
So it says the child has difficulty with holding pencil, any small equipment, and writing. So what yoga practices can help children with fine motor abilities?
Actually, we do some of the things. For example, when you do Chatushpadasana, that sitting on the palm and the knees, we ask them to sit on the finger. Instead of placing the whole palm, place only the fingertips like this. So that will really bring these fine motor skills into action. Then certain grasp gripping. For example, gripping, we have these bricks which are lightweight. Okay, we should be careful in using. When I say bricks, it is not really heavy brick, it's a lightweight brick. Asking them to hold and place the bricks or so many toys are also available these days to practice this. So it is possible. There are lot of games that are available, but we can also create. It's not very difficult. And it takes time, of course. Then just now I showed you some of the AI-based computer vision techniques where you can use the movements on the screen. So that will also help to improve the fine motor skills.
Sure, sir. So there's a question on regulation and calming the body and mind using yoga. So the parent is asking, the child find it's very difficult to imitate and comprehend what is told. So, but they want to try yoga for regulation and calming the child. So how do they go about this?
Yeah, I know the challenges in teaching ASD kids. It is time taking, and whoever imparts teaching to them should have enormous patience and creative approach. It's very difficult to just say, okay, this posture will help. No, that won't work. We have to slowly, gradually induce them. So generally what I used to do is I used to use whatever is available there, even a window bar, a wall, whatever. Many things can be used as a mechanism, as a support to induce some of the postures for the kids. So it's while it is very difficult to give a specific answer, I would say it depends on how we impart these movements, because they don't very quickly comprehend. But at the same time, it is not all that disappointing also. Not that they don't respond at all. They do. But we should be persistent. We should adopt. We should look at their moods. We should try to develop that sort of eye-to-eye contact where we actually adopt to develop that eye contact and make them do things. So what I would say is, yes, while it is challenging, but at the same time, it is possible. It's not that it is not at all possible, but one has to be at it.
Agreed, sir. There's a question on digestion and constipation, because children on the autism spectrum usually have gut issues. So are there any asanas that can help in this regard? Is there any diet to follow to avoid this digestion issues?
Generally, yes, I would say more than anything, please avoid all sorts of bakery items, eating of deep fried items. and get them used to whenever they feel like eating, maybe eating some good vegetables or fruits, even dry fruits. I think such habit formation should be somehow introduced. Eating of any of these bakery items, and however good the biscuit is, including the popular brands of biscuits which they claim is safe, I think that should be avoided. Eating good number of vegetables will definitely resolve some of these issues, and don't keep them sedentary. Depending upon the age and their level of perception, well, some of the twisting postures can be playfully introduced. That twisting postures can be done either sitting or laying, some sort of rolling movements, etc. can be done, or take them for a walk or jump with them. Somehow keep them playful. So these kind of movements will also help. But I would say that definitely food is a big player in all these digestive issues. And of course, drinking water, one should ensure that they get adequate water. So food is the key, in my opinion. And of course, some basic movements. Don't make it too sedentary for them.
Agreed, agreed.
And at
So
the
this
same
is
time, we should remember that autism does not really dampen or kill one's talent. There are extremely talented autism people, even adults. Yeah,
yes,
you're
sir. Yeah. Yes, sir, I agree with you. So this is a question about a 4.5-year-old kid. He responds to simple instructions, non-verbal, but just trying to vocalize a few words. He gets easily distracted while performing activities. Is there any yoga practice to keep him focused and increase the span of attention?
not really. One is age. At that age, even normal kids, you cannot put them onto any uh, rigors of yogic schemes. It has to be done playfully only, and we have to be very adaptive. It is true that they are, in fact, many don't hold the attention. You'll be surprised. Even so-called what we brand as, at least majority of us think that we have no disorder, but you try to focus your mind. It's hardly few seconds. So that's what we have to understand. So this is a very strange thing, but I would say we should devise some creative mechanisms to tune to them. Maybe some sounding systems. Sounding, I mean, that would create maybe like some small playful toys which can create some sound, you can attract them. So some such creative things have to be done. And 4.5 years is too small anyway. You can keep it more playful. That's in one word,
Yes.
I would put it.
Yes, sir. There's a question in the chat from Mr. Anil Kumar. He asks, how do you handle children or adults with autism having poor gross and fine motor skills? The problem is getting him, I think they're talking about this son, 22-year-old with poor motivation, and especially getting him to breathe, which is an internal bodily issue. Gamifying also is touched because he doesn't follow and imitate poor mind and body connection. Because of that, he's not able to imitate.
Yeah, this is one, because that inner motivation to use any of these activities will not be there. So this is where using some of the props, by props I mean, they don't need to make any active movements. For example, a chair where you can put them into some postures or some bolsters. Bolsters means cotton studded pillows. You can just put them, allow them to lie down, and that would help to stretch the shoulders, neck. Certain things can be done. And holding the windows like this, I know that they don't easily respond. The acceptance level is not all that great. This is where perseverance is the key. And breathing, well, that can be activated not through any instructions, only through activities. Like you should make them move around and take them around and get them into some activities, because just telling them, okay, slowly inhale, slowly exhale, watch the abdominal, all those things, I know it won't work. So you have to actually work with them more with patience and perseverance. So that is the basic issue. I know it is, I do agree, well, for anyone to sit here and give suggestions, because I handled these kind of kids. I know the kind of challenges, but yes, we should take it as a challenge only, and we should not give up. And if you don't give up, then some openings will come. All the openings, even for me to sit here and say, is impossible, because it depends upon their moods and how we actually gel with them. So what I would say is, try adopting certain schemes and see what really works for them. Don't give up. Everybody has some innate talent, innate sensory perceptions. We should just try to find out to what sensory perceptions is this kid more responsive. Somebody maybe to some sort of visual inputs, somebody to auditory inputs. So we need to really work around. So it's your whole process you should become a scientist experimenting with the kid. Unless we do that, I don't think there is any type of rather textbook prescription that is available.
Yes.
If I may ask a
Yes.
question.
Yeah, please.
Our son Vikram, I just asked earlier questions about the gross and fine motor skills. If we see that the boy is, having all of these issues.
So I think you are not audible.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. See, Vikram is 32 years old, and after 27 years, we managed to teach him how to type, which means, as you said, we are not given up for 27 years, and that has been a great revelation to us.
I congratulate you.
Thank you, sir. So he is now writing beautiful poetry, etc. But my question about, we are clear that yogic exercises are good for him. But as I said in my message, the mind and body connection is extremely poor. And his body, and he writes and tells us, I want to do some things, but my body is actually doing something else. And there are several autistic kids who have said that, I reach out for something and push it away, but actually I want it, So this is a huge disconnect that's happening. Is there anything to kind of help this left and right brain connect to the synapses to connect and start firing in the right way? And yoga is so vast.
Yes.
And also next question, if I may ask, how do we connect with you? Are you based in Bangalore or where are you based? if you can come for an assessment to see if there is any hope at all.
Yeah. Last thing first, is there any hope at all? There is going to be a hope. Never give up hope. First thing. Second thing, I am in Bangalore. Even if it is not possible from me, I think hope will be there. Now that's the thing.
We are not giving up, sir. Thank you.
You should not. That's great. I would really appreciate. In any of these issues, I keep telling that one autism kid, if you are bringing up, you are doing tapas. There's no doubt. It is the penance that you are doing, and the kind of outlook the kid can bring in the parents is something amazing. That's not easy in this world. So that credit we should give it to the ASD kids. With all the due difficulties, I understand all the difficulties, everything I do understand. Well, the left and right brain coordination, as you know, they are contralateral movements. It's all the left side of the body, right side of the body, the connection. So in yoga, all these balancing postures are there, which would really trigger and also help you to know where the balance is stronger, where it is not. I think there is some hope that way.
Thank you, sir. So there is a question about sleep issues. The child is, the age is not mentioned, but the child has a lot of sleep issues. So as a result, the general health is affected. So please suggest any exercises that can aid better sleep at night.
I don't know what is the age, but depending upon the age, again, you see, we must keep them active and try to find out, because if these kind of kids are exposed to more of this so-called monitor bound time, then it makes the sleep all the more difficult, which means excessive viewing of any of these mobiles or TVs. Otherwise, yes, try playing some good mantras or music. That might also help. You have to really be somewhat experimenting. Some of the mantras, for example, Vishnu Sahasranama or Sri Rudram, they're all known to have some impact on the mind. I mean, I would suggest. I am not an expert in any of. Yeah, I am not an expert in any of these things, but still, these are some of the opinions I can share with you so that you can try to experiment and find out. And if you succeed, please do share so that it will help many others.
Yes. So is it possible for Yoga Mandira to train volunteer teachers, or some yoga practitioners may come forward to do hands-on practice for the autistic children and make them benefit from the yogic approach? I think this is more on training people and
We will
parents.
definitely do. This is one of the missions that I had in my life from quite long. And of course, due to various reasons, not that I've done any great work in this, but that interest, that passion is there. That's why I said some 20, 23, 25 years back itself, I had started working with them. Later, in some installments, although not on regular basis with any institute I have done, but then, and even recently I showed you our work on AI and autism. So that flame is in me, and we will soon plan some training program. I will definitely do it, and I will let you know. We will definitely do. And if some of these things can help this ASD community, I think that would be great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We look forward to it. So some parents are asking for any demo of asanas that children between 3 to 7 with motor planning difficulties, low attention span, and not able to imitate. How can they get started? Are there any demo videos available anywhere on YouTube or anywhere else?
I don't know this YouTube thing. I'll check myself and let you know. It must be there or somewhere in my computers. It should be there. In fact, long back I had made one. Somehow I had captured some of the postures. I don't know now. It's long back. So anyway, let me come back to you on these things.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Again, you should remember those, that is 25 years back. From 25 years, so hopefully I've also matured a bit better in all these things. So those videos may not be all that, I mean, of course, some help should be there, but now better understanding also has come. So, well, we will see. I think more meaningful would be to make some sort of a training program. I think that we will plan.
Yes, that would help us reach a lot of parents and children also. So this is about a child who is 12-year-old and has epilepsy. The parents want to try yoga for the child, but she is under medication, so they are a little bit reluctant. So what would you advise?
See, if the child can chant Om, such things are safe, and 100% they will not have any side effect. Chanting Om has a lot of impact on the activities of the brain. I mean, it is well studied. So this is something safely they can try.
Okay. Again, there are sleep related. You already answered this. So what is the approximate mental age when yoga can be started for autistic kids?
Well, it is mental age. You see, that's a very difficult assessment. But generally, yes, when they are slightly some sort of 8-year-old kind of thing, they will be amenable to some moments. And I would put it the other way around, actually. Instead of putting restriction on the kid, I would reverse the question on the person who imparts training to them. What kind of adaptability and patience, perseverance they have would matter a lot.
Yes. Sometimes wrong poses can cause pain. So when the parents say that when the kids do online yoga sessions, this happens because nobody is watching how they're doing and nobody is correcting them. So is it okay to do yoga online for kids?
Well, this is again a very, very difficult question because we don't need to do such extreme postures which would cause any discomfort. So I think if for whatever reason online is the only option, I think the person who is imparting that they should be extremely careful that they don't give poses that could really cause some discomfort. But in general, I don't think such difficult postures are done for this kind of ASD kids. But sometimes it so happens if the muscles are not put to use at all, even when they do some simple postures, they may complain some pain, but that is only momentary. It's not going to affect them. So one should be, and it's not difficult to make out. It's not going to be some great difficult movements they teach. I don't think anybody would simply go to Urdhva Dhanurasana or things like that. It's going to be simple movements. So they should not really matter. But what is online difficulty is in their attention. See, how long can they look at a teacher on the screen and do? That is my more concern than what they do.
Yes, that's right. Some parents have asked in the chat if you could share details of any therapy centers in Bangalore which follow yoga techniques and help children on the spectrum.
Well, I really, there could be, there are many people who are doing women's service through yoga also, but I don't have any such database or information. But yes, Yoga Mandir has this interest, and soon definitely we will plan some training program.
Yes,
So
sir.
whatever knowledge I have, I would be happy to share. I'm sure many others are there, should be there, but kindly excuse that I do not have such details.
No problem, sir. We can look it up. So there is a question which asks, how is it possible to increase cognitive ability or IQ through yoga?
Well, you see, these are all, when it comes to IQ, well, I don't think there is any research to support that. Cognitive abilities, yes, because it is quite possible, again, depending upon the status of the subject. There is a hope on that, I am sure the cognitive abilities can improve. That's where, you see, just don't look at this as yoga, but it is more like, for example, I showed you some computer game, like touching the ball, if you remember. Just I showed you that what gamification we have developed. Such protocols do help the kids. So it has to be some sort of adaptive way of doing yoga. Let's not imagine teaching these kids is like, okay, regular what we do in classes, Trikonasana, Parshkonasana, Virabhadrasana, Surya Namaskara, some Kapalabhati, such things don't really work. You have to be skillful, adaptive in teaching.
Thank you, sir. There is one question in the chat that the parent is not online anymore. I wish the parent was available. They're asking about their 6-year-old child, non-speaking, has a lot of food issues, does not respond, responds to very basic commands. And they're asking about communication. So how is it possible to improve receptive and expressive communication using yoga?
Well, I am not competent to answer this question because I really don't know really how to handle such issues. But anyway, they have to contact appropriate medical fraternity.
Sir, if parents here want to contact you for any assessment or guidance, what would be the best way to reach you?
I'll give you a number. They can contact. This is the number of Malati, 97386 33441. So she can give the appointment.
Sir, can you please type it, tell the number again? I'll just put it in the chat so it's visible to everybody.
97
Yes.
386 33441. Yeah, that's right. But just coming for one class may not really help you a lot. But I think what we should focus on, maybe conducting a training camp. I think that's what's going to be more rewarding for all of us. So that we will plan.
Sure, sir. I think
You're,
that
you're
will
based at Banshankari, sir? Your
Correct,
institute?
sir. Banchangiri second stage, yes.
Got it. Okay. We'll set up an appointment and come for. First of all, we have to do an assessment, right? About how much the child is able to, carry out the commands or listen. Because our son listens, he
Yeah.
does also. So we would definitely like to get an assessment of how far we can take it. I think on the breathing techniques, hand, leg and all, we can move a little bit and show him. But breathing techniques is something which is very hard because everything is internal.
Correct.
And
That's
control
like,
of muscles are.
see, it's a involuntary action,
Yes, exactly.
and making it voluntarily controllable is a challenge even for normal people. Please understand that. So
Very true. Very true.
yeah, so anyway.
Do you actually work with autistic kids as of now, sir? Do you in your center?
Some do come, yes. Not, we don't have any special classes for them. I would love to do that, but because of my other classes and commitments, it's not been possible. But that is the long-term vision I have. I would love to spare more time. Maybe let us see, God willing.
But if you plan to do any training workshops or sessions, please let us know through Usha ma'am. And
We
a lot
will
of
do
parents
that. Definitely.
interest. Yeah.
That's something we will do as early.
Usha ma'am, you have something to say?
Yeah, so 2-3 people are interested in getting the training from you, sir, including me.
We will
So
plan. We'll plan.
whatever best we can do, I'm ready to support physically, monetarily, everything.
Yeah, we
All
will
my assistants also
definitely.
will be ready to cooperate with me. We will take a training from you, sir.
We'll
It
definitely.
will be really, and I wish to make it a honorary treatment for everybody. Whoever is interested, they can take online or offline, whatever they want. Just like how you are doing, I also want to follow you as a role models.
We'll definitely do the best.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Lower hand.
Those are all the questions I had, sir.
Okay.
If any here want to ask anything, Dr. Omkar is here. We have a few more minutes left.
Good share.
YouTube links, I think your YouTube channel is available on right. So
Yeah.
we can just
Yeah.
Omkar and you, it will come up.
If you go to YouTube and say Yoga with Omkar, you will see.
Yeah.
Also, if you could get those 30 odd sessions that you have recorded, that will be very useful for us to go through. If we
I'll try
can
to trace that.
find that,
Should be hidden in some hard disk somewhere. Let me figure it out.
very lovely if you can find it. Yes, that will be.
I think Anil's voice is breaking up. He's saying something but not audible.
Correct.
So thank you so much, sir, for taking your time today. All of us.
Hey,
We had a very informative
for-
session, and thank
God
you for
bless.
patience on the questions. Thank you so much. We look forward to training sessions with you, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Namaste to all. God bless.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you,
sir,
everyone.
for your time and everything. Very useful and very enjoyable session we had through you. It's educated us a lot how to be
Thank
with kids, our kids,
Thank
especially when they are
you.
in special needs. Definitely.
Thank you, Usha.
Welcome, sir. Shall we close the meeting with the ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, sir. Thank you.